Stephon Gilmore to the Eagles, maybe Zach Ertz to the Patriots. Hail the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole. Oh, Dingbat! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy! Happy trails, Hans. Dallas still stinks. You're right the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are hanging in there. Let me first start off and say I want to thank each and every one of you guys who have joined me on TikTok. That's right, Philly 500 Dingbat Nation is invading TikTok. They can't control what is happening, but I just want to thank each and every one of you guys who are following me over there. Appreciate it. I'm going to be putting out exclusive stuff over there as well. You can only do like a minute video, but what the hell? At least it's something. Thank you guys, and if you want to follow me over there, link is in the description. Definitely check it out. Now, I have been waiting all season for Zach Ertz to be moved, whether it was traded, whether he was cut. I have been waiting for something to happen, and maybe one of the most disappointing things all season is the fact that the Eagles have not been able to do this. Now, I say this with love and respect and admiration for Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is an all-time Eagles great, and I love him. But his time has come. He wants big money. The Eagles couldn't work a contract out with him, and he's got to go. And you have Dallas Goedert, who is in the last year of his contract. He's in the last year of his contract. How are you going to know whether you should sign Dallas Goedert to an extension, in my opinion, if you don't let him start? Let him play. Let him start. Let's see what he is. Zach Ertz is all-time great. And I can't stress that enough, because often when I say and I talk about letting him go, people assume that is like, that means that I don't like the guy. I think that he should go. You know, that's not the case at all. I'm an older guy. I'm jaded, okay? I watch Reggie White go. I watch Randall Cunningham go. Seth Joyner, Jerome Brown, well, he passed away, but Clyde Simmons and Seth Joyner, they both go to Arizona at the same time. I've seen these guys go. I watch Brian Dawkins go. And to me, I guess I've gotten to the point where I accept when these guys start to get older, at some point, you got to move on from them. And that's what the Eagles do. And Zach Ertz, the truth of the matter is, they should have traded him 2 years ago. After the 2019 season, you should have traded him. Max value. I did a video on it. I got a lot of crap for it, but I was right. I was right. And what's frustrating is that the Eagles have not been able to move him. You know, it's hard for me to believe that you can't get a 4th-round pick. You can't get a 5th-round pick for Zach Ertz. I mean, teams don't want to pay it. And we're getting reports today from NBC Philly that the Eagles are still looking or still going to trade or cut Zach Ertz. He is going to be gone. So this is going to happen, it sounds like, no matter what. The question is, what are you going to get for Zach Ertz? That's the real question. And teams, they don't want to part with the draft pick, I guess. I guess they don't. So if they're not going to part with the draft pick, and you can't really get something that's going to help be a building block for the future, then why not call up the New England Patriots, and why not try to trade Zach Ertz for Stephon Gilmore? I mean, why not do it, right? You bring Stephon Gilmore, he's 30 years old. He's going to be 31 in September. But he could give you 2 years, 3 years. I mean, that's about what Zach Ertz can give another team. So he's kind of a rental player, right? But at least you get something for Zach Ertz that you could use this year. You could start Stephon Gilmore right away. Him and Slay, hell of a combination. Yes, the Eagles are going to compete for this division. Yes, the Eagles can win this division. It's not that great. That doesn't mean you're a Super Bowl contender, But that doesn't mean you can't contend for your division. The Eagles can. I would rather the Eagles, at this point, and this is just me, I would rather them trade Ertz to a team like New England, get a guy like Gilmore for 1 or 2 years. It's better than nothing. It's better than what it seems like you're offering. It's better than just cutting Zach Ertz and letting him walk. The question is this: do the Eagles even care about addressing that other corner spot? Do they even care? And I know that sounds crazy, but there's a part of me that thinks that this team is like, hey, look, we're not competing for a Super Bowl this year. We know that this is a rebuild that's going to take a few years. If you just look how they drafted, it was for 2-3 years down the road. They may say, leave that spot, let it go. If Gannon could develop one of these other corners, fine. If not, and we lose some games and we get a higher pick, oh well, we'll have 3 first-round picks next year. Couple corners, there's some corners coming out of the draft. We'll draft somebody then. I think in some ways that's what they're thinking. You get Stephon Gilmore, you're really going to shore up that other side. You may win a few more games. So you really wonder if the Eagles would even do it, or if they even care about that position. I know it sounds weird, but the way, if you look at how they're drafted and how they're operating, they're not operating for next year. They're operating for a few years down the line. So would they even trade for Stephon Gilmore? I don't know. Like I said, he's not a guy that I would give. Like if I'm the Eagles, right? And there's some speculation and there's some talk. I saw Joey Shakes did a video on this earlier. There's some speculation that there could be an Eagles possible trade for Stephon Gilmore, but in that scenario, you're giving up like a 4th-round pick, something like that. I'm not giving up a draft pick for Stephon Gilmore. I'm not giving up one because he's 30 years old. He's going to be 31 in September. However, if it comes to losing Zach Ertz for nothing or getting Stephon Gilmore for Ertz, I'll do that. I'll do that in a second because at least I get something out of trading Zach Ertz. But if I'm just sitting back waiting, nah, dude, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't just let Zach Ertz go for nothing and when I have an opportunity at least to bring in a player that can actually contribute. Stephon Gilmore, if he came to the Eagles, he would help this defense dramatically. No question about it. However, Stephon Gilmore is 30 years old. 31 years old. I believe his birthday is September 19th. Same date as my brother, who didn't win $1,000, by the way. Let's just remind him. You lost, mother humper. You lost because you bet against Devontae Smith. You said the Eagles were going to take a defensive lineman at 12, and they didn't. They traded up and took a wide receiver. Philly 500 wins again. Okay? But I love my brother. But he shouldn't have made that bet. $90 down the drain. You could have bought me dinner. You know what I mean? A few beers, whatever. We're on vacation. Boom. Nah, you had to go spend it. Anyway, yeah, that's Mark Holmes League, man. That's something Mark Holmes would do. Mark Holmes is probably smoking the meat all night. He's cooking all those meats. Now I got Traeger. I'm coming for all his meats. I'm coming for your meats, Mark Holmes. I'm going to be the cooker on YouTube. How about that, Mark Holmes? Not just the consumer, but the cooker. I got to figure out how the hell it works. But anyways, I'm getting off topic, which is something I usually do. But here's the thing. Stephon Gilmore would immediately help this defense. No question about it. But only for like a year or two. It's only going to help you for a year or two. You can't go on much further than that. The good thing is it's not going to prevent you from drafting a corner really high in the first round. It's not going to prevent you from acquiring a bunch of defensive backs that are young. The Eagles, they don't have to do this. The only way that I would go for Stephon Gilmore, the only way I'm doing it is in a trade with Zach Ertz. If I could trade Ertz for Gilmore and that's the only thing I can get, then do it. Then I do it. If I can't, then I'm not. That's kind of how I see it. So it really, really depends on what the Eagles could get for Zach Ertz. Now, if you tell me the Eagles could get a 4th-round pick, a 3rd-round pick for Zach Ertz, I'll say take the pick. take the pick. But I don't think a team wants to give up that much. I really do. And I think when you hear reports that the Eagles are going to trade or cut Zach Ertz, that really means they're going to cut Zach Ertz. Because once you start talking about cutting a guy, teams are not going to give you anything for him. They're not going to want to give you anything for him unless they're stuck with a player they can't move either. And they're not getting the value they want. Zach Ertz for New England would be a perfect fit. A perfect fit. And as for Gilmore, perfect fit for Philly. Both short-term rentals, but at least teams get something they can use for a few years. It's better, and I mean it's better than nothing. So, when I hear about the Zach Ertz reports that he may get cut or released, to me that just means he's going to get released. And secondly, when Stephon Gilmore and these rumors about him coming to Philly are out there, it can't be for a draft pick. But if you want to trade Zach Ertz for Gilmore, I'm all for that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I will be back later today. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. I moved to this beautiful new neighborhood because they were building houses and I wanted to get away from the HOA lady. The HOA lady in my old house was a pain in my ass for years. Most of you guys know we went at it. We fought. She would ruin videos while I was having victory cigars. Pain in the ass. Well, I moved here. I think everything's going to be good. And all of a sudden, one day, this big, gigantic cat that runs this neighborhood comes flying in my house. Took me forever to get it out. Didn't want to leave. Well, now every night, 2 in the morning, the thing's out my front and my back door. Every morning, thing is out my back door. Wants to come in. It brings me offerings. It brings me hats. It brings me little children. It brings me tires. I ain't kidding. It brings me things thinking I'm going to let it in. I just want to sleep, man. I just want to sleep. Look at this thing. It's huge.